developers. In our Xamarin Forms application, we have used one single instance of the main view model with our 3 pages, which are the main page, the search page, and the add new employee page. So we made sure that we use one single instance of the main view model by creating the instance of the main view model inside the main page. Then when we go to navigate to the search page or to the add a new employee page, we pass that instance used by the main page to the search page and to the add a new employee page using the constructor of these 2 pages. So that this way we are making sure we are using one single instance of the main view model inside our 3 pages. In this video we'll explore a better solution for this, let's say, situation. For that we will use Application.Resources. What Application.Resources is like a place where you define variables or you define objects that could be used inside all your application. So the scope of these objects will be the entire application. It's not only the page or not only a certain view. But here the application resources have some, let's say, negative points. Because anything you declare inside, any object you declare inside the application resources should use parameterless constructor. So if our main view model uses some parameters inside the constructor, then you won't be able to use or to instantiate it inside the application resources. To solve this problem, we will use the main view, ViewModel Locator, which will be responsible for instantiating the view models. So let's get started. Hi developers! In this video we'll learn how we can use application resources and main ViewModel Locator in Xamarin Forms applications. So in our Xamarin Forms application here we have used the same instance of the main view model with our 3 pages, main page, new employee page and search page. And also we have used the same single instance of the main view model. The way we did that is by instantiating the main view model inside the main page. Using this code binding context, this one will create an instance of the main view model. Then when we go to navigate to the search page and add the new employee page, then we retrieve that main view model from the binding context of that page. Then we that instance we have retrieved, we pass it we pass it to the new employee page through the parameter or through the constructor of that page. We did the same with the search page, where we retrieve the main view model from the main page, then we pass it to the search page through the constructor here. Then when we go to the search page, then we do binding context to that main view model that was passed by the main page. So using this way we are using the same instance of the main view model, so that the information inside the main view model, which is in our case the selected employee, will be always the same. So now we want to come with a better solution for this situation. For that we will use application resources. So here, to implement the application resources, I go to the app.xaml, and here I can define the objects that will be used for the scope of all the application. For that, here inside the application.resources, I'll go and add a resource dictionary here, and inside this dictionary, resource dictionary, I'll define a main view model, and I will use it from all my 3 pages. For that, now let's create the main view model. Alt Enter, as I am using ReSharper. It adds the view model's namespace. Then this instance of the main view model, I'll give it a name, let's say, or a key actually. Let's say it's a main view model. So now that I have this resource defined in my app, inside my application, then I can use it inside all my view pages. For that, I start with the main page, and here instead of creating a new instance of the main view model, I'll go and use the instance that I have created inside the application resources here. So I'll go and use this resources. So the way to do that, I'll go here to the content page and use binding context, and I'll bind to a static resource, because each resource defined inside the resource dictionary will be considered as a static resource. For that, I use here static resource. Then here you see I got my main view model here in IntelliSense. So I go and use that. So now my main page is binding to that single instance of the main view model. I'm go and copy this code for all the two other pages. So here for the add the new employee page, I go and comment out this code and add that binding context to bind to the main view model. And I'll do the same for the search page. So now my 3 pages are using this one same single instance of the main view model. So there is actually a couple of other modifications I should go and make. For the search page here, as I am passing the main view model here inside this constructor, I'll go and remove it, and also remove this binding context, because now we are using this binding context. If we let both binding context, the one in the XAML code and the one in the code behind, here like that, then the one in the code behind will override the binding context inside the XAML code. Why? Because here I am, by calling initialize component before binding context, I am calling the code of the XAML, so it will go and bind context to the main view model. After initialize component finishes its execution, it will go to execute this line of code, so that it will override that main view model declared in the application resources, and it will use this instance of the main view model. So let's comment this out to use that one same instance declared inside the application resources. Also, we should go to the new employee page, and here I get rid of this constructor that accepts main view model. And as I remove it, these two parameters from the constructors, I should of course go to my main page and as I removed this parameter from the search page, I also need to go and remove this one, so that the search page doesn't accept the parameter of type main view model, and the same thing for my new employee page, so it doesn't accept anymore a main view model. So this way, so let's Control Shift V to make sure we didn't miss anything, and that our application compiles successfully. Build succeeded. So now we are sure that we used the same instance declared, the same instance of the main view model declared inside our application resources. We used it with all our 3 pages. So now let's go to the second section from this video. Here, whenever we use an object inside the resource dictionary, main view model here as this line of code will create a new instance of the main view model, it should use, or it should have a parameterless constructor. So inside this creation or this instantiation, it will go and use the parameterless constructor of the main view model. Here we have our main view model doesn't have any parameter, so it's enough lag for us. But whenever you have some parameters inside your main view model, let's say for example here you have a string, the name for example, then here you cannot use this. So you see here it have now this blue line indicating that the message here there is no default constructor found. So either I go and add the parameterless constructor, but that way if I'm required to pass some parameters, then I cannot do that. So the way to do that is by implementing the pattern of using ViewModel Locator. So how can we create the ViewModel Locator? So I go to my application, to the portable project, and add a new folder. Let's call it configuration. And here I'll add the ViewModel Locator. It's a class which I call ViewModel Locator. This class is public. So inside the ViewModel Locator, we find properties that are of type our main view model. So here I'll go and create a property, and let's call it main view model. Let's call it also main view model. Here we need only the get, and inside the constructor of the main of the ViewModel Locator, I go and instantiate that main view model to set it to a new main view model. And you see here I can pass the parameter which is of type string, for example. Let's say this name for example. So this way we are solving the problem of having parameters inside the constructor of the main view model. So this is the first step. The second step is to go to the app.xaml, and here instead of declaring or defining the main view model, I'll go and define the ViewModel Locator. So here you should not forget to add the namespace of that ViewModel Locator. And here I'll give my ViewModel Locator an X key so that I can use it inside my application pages. So I call it ViewModel Locator. Now I can go and use this ViewModel Locator instead of the main ViewModel. So the ViewModel Locator contains an instance of the main ViewModel. So the only modification I should make is to go to the my main pages and set the binding context not directly to the main ViewModel, but instead I'll change the binding context to say binding and set the source of that binding to our static resource, which is the ViewModel Locator. And here, as the ViewModel Locator contains a public property of type main ViewModel, actually I can access this property by saying here that the binding will be my main ViewModel. So this way we are binding to the single instance of that main ViewModel, of that ViewModel Locator, and the single instance of the ViewModel Locator, of course, will return a single instance of our main ViewModel. So I'll go and copy this code and reuse this same one with my search page, and also with the add new employee page. So this way we are creating a single instance of the ViewModel Locator and using all the properties inside that ViewModel Locator. Here in our application we have only one ViewModel, which we call it main ViewModel, but in other applications you might find many other ViewModels. So the way you can bind to those ViewModels is by creating another ViewModel, as we have done here with the main ViewModel. So let's say we have another ViewModel that's called home ViewModel, for example. We don't have it here, but let's imagine we have that home ViewModel. So with that, you go and set your home ViewModel to say equal new home ViewModel, and then if you want, for example, your search page to bind to the home ViewModel instead of the main ViewModel, then you should go here, and here you get the home ViewModel with the main ViewModel. So you set it to your home ViewModel. So this way we have solved the problem of using the same instance of the main ViewModel, and also we solved the problem of having the parameterless constructor by creating a ViewModel Locator, so that now I can pass any parameter to my main ViewModel inside the ViewModel Locator. And thank you.